Hello, guys. Welcome to another maths class. So, this afternoon, we're going to be talking about volume and capacity. So, like I used to say, some of these things are not new to you. There are things you've heard, maybe your previous classes, and you are familiar to them a bit. So, this one is just for us to buttress it and talk about the meaning and basically talk about rectangular prism. So, what are the things we should come across in our lesson outline? So, at the end of this class, I believe you'll be able to understand the concept of volume and capacity and also differentiate between the two terms, that is volume and capacity, and also learn how to apply the formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism. So rectangular prism will be the basics of what I'm going to be doing for this class. And also you'll be able to convert different units of capacity, that is from liters to millimeters and the rest. So let me give you a quick test as we proceed in the discussion. So I will have a quick test for you guys. Now, take a look at these shapes. So, which is not rectangular prism? Look at it just for seconds. So, we have a dice here, we have a bookshelf, and a wood, I believe. Okay, metal. I don't want to mention the shape so that you get it right. All right, so I believe you are done with that. Now we can check. So, which is not a rectangular prism? All right, I think you guys right. So it is the last shape, metal block there. So the dice is there. The bookshelf is also part. It's formed the shape of rectangular prism. So you can see the shape of the last object is not forming any rectangular form. So you can't say this is a rectangular prism. So it is when you see shape, look at the first dice here. It has the shape of rectangle. And the other one, the shape takes the shape of rectangle. So easily you can decode that, okay, this is a rectangular object or rectangular prism. But the last one is an irregular object. The shape is not that specific unless you can see from the top that has rectangular. So this is not, the last object is not a rectangular prism. We can't call it a rectangular prism. So that leads us to the meaning of terms, volume. So what is volume? So volume is just the amount of space an object occupies. So the amount of space an object occupies. So if you put in an object in a particular me- measuring object, so the actual amount of space that object occupied should be the volume. So if you pour water inside the bucket and it's okay, how do I determine the volume of this water? So the exact amount of space, that is the length or the metric parts you can see from the um, bucket or whatever you are using for your distance, should know that okay, this is the volume of water in this object. So on the other hand, we have capacity. So capacity means the amount a container can hold. So the difference between the volume of water and the capacity of an object. So if I'm asking you the volume of water, I'm asking you the amount of space the water takes in the object. So if I ask you the capacity of the object, I'm telling you the amount the container can hold. So it's often measured in liters, so or milliliters. Why for the volume? Volume is always in centimeter or meter cube. So centimeter cube or meter cube. So cubic unit now. Cubic unit is used to measure volume. So cubic centimeter or cm cube. So rectangular prism, a three-dimensional shape with length, width, and height. Now let's go straight to our rectangular prism. Now take a look at this object. Now to find the surface area of rectangular prism, all you have to do is to add up the area of the surface part or the area of the faces of the rectangular prism. So the first part, you can see the shape here, just a single shape. And all you have to do is to find, you can see the colossal of different shapes or pairs of rectangles in the other part. So that will lead us to the second part of the area of rectangular prism, which is talking about adding up the areas of all its surface. So basically, the prism has a surface area. So let's calculate the surface area of this rectangular prism. So the rectangular prism has the height of 4 inch, while the width, that is the breadth, is 6 inch, while the length is 12 inch. So the surface area. So the formula to find that is 2 into brackets LW plus WH plus HR, that is the length width plus width height plus height length. So all you have to do is to substitute the value of all these numbers. So the length is 12, while the width is 6. So plus, all you have to do is multiply 12 times 6 to get the LW. So multiply that. Then you go to the next one, WH. So what is W? W is 6. What is H? That is the height. It is 4. So multiply 6 times 4. Then you proceed to the next value, which is H. That is the height and the length. So the height is 4 multiplied by the length. So 4 times 12 will give you 48. So all you have to do is to bring out the numbers you have done. So 12 times 6 will give us 72. 6 times 4 will give us 24 rather. Then 4 times 8 will give us 48. So add the numbers together. 72 plus 24 plus 48 will give you 144. Multiply by the 2 that enclose the bracket, which make it 288 inch square. So that is for that particular rectangular prism. So let's go to other shape. So here we have a cube. So just like the way you have it in the former one, which was cuboid, so this one also has the surface area to be what? To be 6. So we have 6 square here. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So 6 faces are being opened here. So it means this particular object has 6 faces. So that will lead us to finding the surface area of a cube. So the surface area of a cube is 6x squared, that is 6 sides square. So given from what we have in the diagram, that is the size of each surface is 8 centimeter. So it means we're going to multiply 6 by 8 square. So all you have to do is surface area is 6x squared. So it means s is 8. So what is the square of 8? So square of 8 is 64. Multiply your 64 by 6, that gives you 384. So 384 is the surface area of the cube. That leads us to the next work. So this work you can see from the objects here. Don't forget we already have a cube and a keyboard. So can you identify these objects? Yes, it's very easy, right? Okay, I believe that's a keyboard. So what is this answer to this? So I've done that. All you have to do is to find the surface area, that is the length was plus width h plus hl. So given from the example given to you, you multiply LW. LW is 20 times 8. 20 times 8 will give you 160. Then followed by WH. WH is 8 times 25. That will give us 200. Then followed by HL. So HL is 25 times 20. That will give us 500. So all you have to do is to add the numbers together. 160 plus 200 plus 500 will give us 860. So multiply 860 by the 2 that enclose the bracket. That will give us 1,720 centimeter square. So the surface area of the cereal box of this keyboard is 1720 centimeter square. All right, so let's go to another shape, another rectangular prism. So this is another shape. Here we have um, the volume of this particular shape. We have the LWH, that is the length, the width, and the height. So here we are given the height to be 4, the width to be 1, while the length is 5. So you have to do is to substitute the value of the given numbers. So L is 5, that is 5 times 1 times 4. So that will give us 20 feet cube. So the volume expressed in cubic meter. So that means the volume of the rectangular prism above is 20 feet cube. All right, so that leads us to another volume of an object. So don't forget all we've been doing so far. We mentioned surface area. So the next object we discuss is the volume. So the difference between surface capacity and volume. So this is the volume of a of this rectangular prism, and the volume of another rectangular prism, which is a cube, is S cube. That is 6 raised to power 3. So 6 in 3 places will give us 216. So the volume of the cube is 216 centimeter cube. All right, that will lead us to another work, a practice question. Now take a look at this shape. What shape can you identify here? So this is a cube. So let's find the volume of this cube. So the volume is x cube, that is s raised to power 3. So the S air is 150. So that means we're going to have our 150 in 3 places. So 150 times 150 times 150 will give us 3,375,000 centimeter cube. So the volume of the container will be 3,375,000,000 cube. So I believe you understand what I've been saying so far. So let's have a quick recap on what we have been saying so far. So far we talked about the surface area and the volume. So to find the surface area of the rectangle, you add up the areas of all its faces. So that is for surface area. And the volume of a rectangular prism, you multiply the length by the width and the height. So that gives you the volume of your rectangular prism or your cube. So I believe that answers our discussion this afternoon. Thank you for your time. See you in our next class.